This is everybody. This is Matt Betros.
Pleasure. Thanks for asking me on. Look forward to it. I was listening to you. Looks like you're having a good time.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. And no, we had on Jagger Moon. He was in the U.S. military. He had a sort of opposing view. We're guessing that your view is going to be different because you own a gun shop. You're an intelligent guy. You also have a radio show. And what's your take on? Let's jump right into it, if you don't mind. What's your take on the shooting and how it should affect the Second Amendment, or should it not at all?
Well, of course, you shouldn't touch the Second Amendment, but of course you've got to handle things in a certain way. Let me give you an example. If you go to a bar and you're going to drink, should you drive?
No.
No. You should have a designated driver.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If you go to a bar and now you got to worry about all these crazies shooting people in victim disarmament zones because no guns are allowed, why not have a designated gunner? You can't go in there drinking with a gun, and I can totally understand that, like anybody could. But why not? Where is the security personnel? Okay,
right.
You're not going to have. You cannot take the Second Amendment away just to the fact it's a right of ours.
Right.
So if that's going to be there, you're always going to have guns.
Right.
If that's the case, I'd rather be armed so that if a nutcase shows up, I can help save the day if the opportunity arises. Okay, and when we train at our location, Dave.
Yeah.
So one of the main things I teach is I should teach you well enough, and you should practice well enough your mindset to hopefully never get yourself in that position where you have to draw your gun in the first place. The last thing you want to do is draw it. But man, what happens in a situation like this? And you have to. There's got to be some way to defend yourself. So, I don't say take the guns away.
Right.
The percentage of the crazies out there really are totally outnumbered by the sane people. So it's really not fair to our rights to diminish those rights because of a few crazies, but we can counter it. So that's basically my angle.
What do you feel about the AR being taken off of the market as far as sporting rifles?
Well, I'm opposed to that just for the reason it's not the gun, man. It's the crazy. And look at this guy. He got a couple of guns legally. So even if you did do stricter requirements.
No, I'm saying if it was off the market, he couldn't get it, no matter how strict the requirements were.
So
that's a very.
And there goes all the peaceful people who actually use it. I've got an AR.
Yeah, I have an AR too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I totally get where people are concerned, but what they should do is, knowing the environment this country is becoming the last 10, 12, 15 years, the way everybody's coming in and wants to hurt us, you're not going to stop them from getting a gun. One way or another, they're going to get it. And if they're going to get it, I want to be able to defend myself, and those people who are good citizens should be able to do the same thing.
Well, to your point, and Craig and Matt, but to your point, Matt, there were no guns, absolutely zero guns in Paris. Like you can't get any gun in Paris. You can't get a AR, and there was massive shooting there. So I think to your point there. There are probably 1 billion guns around in the world. I don't know, but I guarantee there's several 100 million, right, guns that have been made.
It's probably more than that, but you just brought up a good point where you are not allowed to have a gun. And you're from Texas, you know these signs, Penal Code 30-6 and 30-7, basically.
Yeah.
You can't come into this property.
Right.
With a concealed weapon. Do you really think the bad guy, who you know if he wants to bad enough, can get it done, is going to listen to that sign? No.
Right.
It's just crazy. And it's nothing to do with I'm a redneck and I got to have a gun, blah, blah, blah. One, it's my right. Two, I enjoy them. Three, I'm responsible. Four, I want to train other people to enjoy the different methods of shooting, plunking or hunting or target shooting or maybe self-defense for the sole purpose of, one, enjoyment, camaraderie, and self-defense. What's wrong with that? The majority of the population in this country want to do that. They just want to be left alone, man. If you got the crazies, those few, and the
those
crazies help
crazies,
it none by promoting it in such a crazy fashion.
Yeah.
And I understand we need to be aware of what's going on. I get that.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's look. It's a problem, and that my idea, and the reason I brought up more or less opposing discourses and opinions is because I want to open this without the screaming and the yelling. I want to talk about it because we're not going to get anywhere on this issue. On the Second Amendment, me personally, I stand firm on the Second Amendment because it is a right. Now, But with that said, I think that we do have to. We don't want continual shootings. We don't want continual mass murder, certainly. So therefore, I just say we need to open up and talk about it. But the problem is there's no trust on either side. Like, the left side doesn't trust the right side at all, and the right side doesn't trust the left. And you notice when something like this happens, there's just basically BS flying hard on either side. Like,
well, let me address what you just said.
Okay, go ahead.
The people who are opposed to firearms, what's their bottom line? They want safety, right?
Right.
So I cannot argue one bit for their ideology.
Right.
Safety. I just disagree on their method. Okay, let me give you an example. You were saying taking ARs off the market. I could get a 1022, a Ruger 1022 with a 30-round mag and do just as much damage. It's a 22 caliber bullet. It's cheap to buy. They're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little tiny pointing rifle. So you take the AR off the market. Then what's next? Then what's next? Then what's next? That's not the issue.
Right.
The issue is, of course, since we do have these regs and rules, you got to sign the 4417. You got to
Right. The background check.
So on and so forth. I totally did that. I got no issues with that at all. But no matter what you do, if you take all the guns away, they'll start using knives. And I know you've heard this all the time from people saying, well, then it's a car. You're going to take cars off the market. But it's true. You can start using hammers and swords and sticks. But the point is, if there's two buildings, and one building says no guns allowed, and another one says bring them in, where do you think the mass shooter is going to go?
To the one that says, no guns allowed, obviously.
No guns. See what I'm saying? So train people better so that they're more aware. Look, I train tons of people.
Right.
And a lot of people come in and they're worried and they want to exercise the right to have a gun, but it's their responsibility too to go out there and get the proper training from a good instructor, and they can't just do it one time. They got to do it a bunch of times. But even if they didn't do it a bunch of times, who am I to inhibit or restrict their right?
They're right.
But
That's
I
right.
can use the power of freedom of speech to say, listen, dumbass, if you're going to carry the darn thing,
Be
you
responsible.
need to train with it. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we can do.
You make a great point, Matt.
People.
That is a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I understand both sides, but the ideology or the method of getting the safety, I don't think works.
Hey, Craig, Matt.
That's a good point.
No, that's a very good. But don't you like the way at least that whether you agree or disagree with Matt, don't you like the way at least Matt presents it as opposed to a lot of?
I actually agree with him.
Yeah. Well, hey, Matt and Craig, do you know the? I'm just going to throw this out. Do you know?
Am I conservative?
Are you?
I agree with him.
Yeah. Are you a conservative?
I thought I was a liberal.
yeah. Craig, hey, listen, Craig thought he was a liberal, Matt. Good job. He's conservative now.
I guess I'm a moderate.
Hey, he is a Bush.
I'm a moderate
Craig's last name is Bush. We're
You know what I am, man? I'm a guy who loves this country. I'm a guy who loves our Constitution and Bill of Rights, and I just want to be left alone.
No, I love it. Hey, listen, do you know, both of you guys, this is a sort of a rhetorical question because you might know the answer, but the worst mass murder ever, I think, on the books anywhere, that's not a bomb. Do you know what it is?
Me?
Either of you, Craig or Matt?
Yeah.
Are we talking about in the United States? Right?
No, around the world.
I'm not sure.
Okay, Craig, do you know?
I would say
it's rhetorical.
Broken knee.
Now, in China, there was, and you can look this up. Please look it up. And I don't know that. No, not Tiananmen Square. On a train platform, like a subway kind of train or whatever, one of those train platforms. I believe, and I don't know the exact number, but I think over 100 people were murdered with knives.
Over 100?
Yeah, 90-something, like about a few different guys came up. It was like 3 or 4 different guys. Look it up. It's true.
Wasn't there 700 in 1921 in Tulsa?
Well, that might have been a bomb. It wasn't like gun or knives.
Dave, what's a funny thing, too?
Yeah.
You brought up knives.
Yeah.
We do these drills as well. A person 21
Wow,
feet
with
away from me
knives.
with a knife can still put a blade in me. Sometimes, depending on your expertise handling a weapon,
Right.
if you're not that good, they can possibly put the knife in you at 21 feet before you even get the shot off. So knives can be extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
21 feet away.
But it's just sort of like listen, to me, okay, here's my issue with it.
Is this too far-fetched? Have metal detectors like at clubs?
No, it's not. They're going to have to do that.
Places where they never had them, like the bar, the
That's
salon.
as long as you got security, so that when the nutcase does show up,
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm going to throw another wrench into the situation here. What happens? Just to show you how I mean, I don't think shutting down the Second Amendment is not the answer, and I'll tell you why. What happens in 5 or 10 years or soon when the 3D printing makes a gun that is completely undetectable, that you don't need a license for because you could make it on your 3D printer that you've gotten you pulled off the internet the blueprints for it, and you own a 3D printer for $250. The prices are going down on them, and you could. There's already a dude who's built a gun with a.
It's really not a wrench in the work. Just consider that gun the same as an illegally bought gun or a legally bought gun by a crazy. It doesn't matter either or. Because the bottom line comes, when he comes to hurt me, I'm going to stop him before he stops me if I have the chance.
Well, and to my point, Matt, what I'm saying is, if someone says, okay, let's ban every gun in America right now, just immediately, okay, you're going to still have shootings because people are going to get.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh, you're saying that. You're agreeing with it? Okay.
He's saying that your guy's not going to worry about this law or this.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
They're going to get that gun.
They'll get a gun.
Do what they're going to do. They're not going to worry about a sign on a building.
Yeah, they're not worried about anything.
Or anyone else's.
So all the more reason. And look, you were saying he was in service. Your other guest, I was in service too. I put a uniform on and swore an oath to defend that country.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you for your service.
It's my pleasure. And even though I don't wear the uniform, I still swore an oath, and I will defend that oath. So for the right of everybody, I don't care if you have disagreements with me. I don't care this, that, or the other, because I defended your right to have those disagreements. But when it comes time for you going past the point of free expression and it causes harm on somebody, then I'm sorry. You've got to stop one way or another, some form of passion.
Right.
Well, it's an incredible topic. I could tell you, but just to go even further, my problem with people who want to infringe on the Second Amendment is this. Look at the countries that they've taken the gun rights away. I mean, look at Cuba. To me, it's not a place I'd want to live in its current place. My parents went on their honeymoon to Cuba before, Castro took over. But it's just like, places, it's a freedom issue to me. It's a freedom. Now, yes, people are going to die because of that. Unfortunately, there are going to be mistakes with this. However, you know how many people die from OxyContin every day? I think 14 or 15. Well,
that's my point. Yeah. You know very well how you can put peer pressure on people. Well, let's start peer pressuring people to get proper training so that there are no accidental shootings. There are no children shot accidentally by their dad's gun. Lock up your guns.
Right.
Train. If we took all that emphasis and did that, and maybe even closed our freaking borders to some illegal school, or I don't care about illegals.
Just the vetting process.
I'm all for immigrants. I'm just against the immigrants who want to kill me, So we need to check
So you
that
have need a vetting process, right?
Hey, could I stop you right there?
I would vet everything. I wouldn't care what.
I got people in my family and where I live with I want to vet. I want to vet the vet. But
with the vet.
Yeah, with the vet, yeah. But no, Matt, I'm going to play in a bit, if you still listen to the show. I've got Alex Jones interviewed Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and Farrakhan says those exact words. No one's brought that. I'm bringing this up nationally, man.
I watched that interview, and I've always heard Farrakhan, and I'm always like, what is up with this guy? But then when you start listening to him, I go, wait a minute, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
Cross-eyed views of where's he coming from, what's he mean, and all of a sudden it's something outlandish.
Yeah.
And then you got to decipher it and pick it out because they only do sound bites. I don't know, man. It's a crazy world.
Now, he wants to live too now.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, let's keep him out of here.
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying. I mean,
I got a flight leaving.
Yeah, he's saying that. He's saying Trump is. I'm going to play it after in a minute, but Trump was right to vet the. He's right to say that, anyways. And this is a guy who is obviously Muslim and obviously leader of a lot of Muslim people. So, but listen, Matt, I would love to have you back on the show, man. Too. Jagger was a great guest.
Thank you much, Matt.
Yeah, and I thank you so much for your reasonableness and your the way you presented your argument, and I think it was great.
Well,
yes, sir.
Beyond, and I teach that in all my classes. So everybody out there in Houston, it's a 3-hour drive. Come on out. We got some awesome training.
Yeah,
where are you again?
Yeah, give us the whole pitch again. If your whole everything with the store and the show, yeah, and location.
Well, we started off as a basic gun shop, full retail, the whole works, and I've got an indoor shooting range. But I've done so much training, and I've been associated with so many great people. We've got a training facility. And we do all sorts of things, but I don't gear it towards a spec operator or a SWAT member or something like that. I gear it for a homeowner, a housewife alone with their kids, a rancher who's doing robbed or something. We teach tactics on how to search your home, how to protect yourself, how to use a different gun if yours doesn't work and you have to pick somebody else's up. We learn mindset and philosophy. You know, a lot of people know the big place out in Pahrump, Nevada, Front Sight. We're a Front Sight light. I mean, we do everything for a fraction of the cost and get you good
Yes.
training.
Yeah, I know Front Sight. A buddy of mine actually wants me to go out there, and he even paid for me. I just haven't had a chance. Tell us exactly where your store is, and then and your hours, and then exactly about your radio show, and then I'm going to let you go after that.
Okay, sounds good. Radio show is every Saturday from 10 a.m. till noon. It'll start actually from 10 a.m. to noon starting July 2nd. Right now it's just for the 1 hour. And that's going to be on 105.1 FM, The Ranch out of Cameron. And you can, obviously you're not going to be able to reach that, but go to my website, aaronsgunshop.com. Go to the radio page. We'll be having it feeding through there live.
Great.
The training, if you go to the website, the High Cap Adventure page, you get to see all the different types of training we do. And you should be sure, ladies, if you're listening, be sure to check out the testimonials. I've got women coming from West Texas all over to take it, and they're so nervous, and by the time they leave, they are empowered with the training. And you're limited on time. I could go on forever, but check it out. I think you'd be pretty impressed.
We'll have you back on, too.
Guys, I invite you, free of charge. Come on out, do your radio show from my place, and I'll show you a good
Yeah, Craig,
you,
will
sir.
we do it? Can we do that? We're going to come out. We're going to take you up on that. We're going to take you up on that. All right, I appreciate you, brother. aaronsgunshop.com, www.aaronsgunshop.com, and then 105.1 on Saturday from 10 to 12 out of Cameron, Texas. And check out his website. Great guy. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Talk to you soon. Great guy, man. Hey, there you go.